Hearing happening this morning on evidence that Waupaca County prosecutors want to use in a double murder cold case. Tony Haase was arrested in 2022 and charged in the stabbing deaths of Tana Togstead and Tim Mumbrew from 1992. Today, the judge deciding to allow at trial DNA evidence from Haase that was collected from a pen during a traffic stop in 2016, as well as autopsy reports, even though the original pathologist has died. The judge is scheduling another hearing regarding a Denny motion, which would allow Haase and his attorneys to name a different suspect in these crimes. In April, a Waupaca County judge ruled that statements Haase made to investigators and palm print evidence can be used in the upcoming trial later this summer.